All right, this vlog is going to be my response to Wendy. Hey Wendy, I saved this for my last vlog for today because I wanted to end on a pleasant note. So thank you for giving me a nice oasis in this desert of drama. All right, so this is something that Wendy said to me in an email. I just want to send you a quick note after watching your latest blog, and even though I haven't been participating in Podlayer lately, I still believe you are doing extremely important work, and I believe in your quest of ultimate natural truths. Thank you. That is very nice to hear. Yeah, it's been a bit gnarly, but you know, we're coming through okay, and we'll be better at the end of this. I'm sorry that in your case, like I said, I made the mistakes that I did, and I really appreciate how understanding you were of that, and that I was, you know, using a methodology that was helpful but was not perfect, and you know, was doing what I could. And yeah, I won't be able to, you know, do much with people's cases anymore, their personal cases, and I know that's something that you and I had done a bit over the years, and I'll miss that. I will. Overall, this is going to make me a lot stronger, and you know, I'm sad for things that, you know, went the way they did, but you know, it is what it is, and I'll move forward. But that part bothers me. You know, it's unfortunate, but the way the world is right now, and you also, you know, I don't know, I'm kind of just gun shy now. I don't want to actually mess up anyone's life. I don't want to do things that upend you. I'm a very sensitive person, and the reason why I started doing this work at all early on as a child, not even know it was going to go this direction, but just kind of working on these ideas. What does it mean to be a human? Why? What do we do with this information? Yeah, I'm real sensitive, and I want to be helpful. I really do. But I have certain gifts I was given that I need to use, but they're really tricky, Wendy. They're really tricky to know what they are. It took me a long time to figure out what am I? What's going on with me? What does that mean with existence? Okay, what do I have to do with this information? Do I have to? I guess I have to pursue it and take it as far as I can and give it off as best I can. But a lot of people try to give me advice. They're very academic sounding, and they really don't understand what this process is like. That has got me further than they have. It's more like an animal going through stages and realizing, oh, I've got these things now, and oh, it's the season of such and such, and it really is not the kind of process that can be broken down that way. I almost feel like some kind of really advanced animal handler might be more helpful for giving me advice on what I might do to do better at what it is I'm doing. But most people's advice is just not very helpful. You know, so anyway, I can't work on personal cases, and in general, I'm going to feel much better about that. It's going to make me lighter, but you know, cases like yourself and so forth, it's like, I'd like to be able to help, but it's not, I don't think it's, I feel that, I don't know, the reactions that I've gotten overall, although some people like yourself handle things very well, it's just freaked me out. I don't want to be responsible for, you know, people being that upset, and I just don't feel like I can ever really be sure how upset people are going to get. And I need to go where I need to go, and I need to not worry that if I need to update something or go somewhere that it's not going to hurt somebody that I have like this. You know, like we do. We have a friendship. We have a bond that way. We've hung out. We know each other as people. You know what I mean? To a decent degree, I would think. You know, I'm not saying we like hang out all the time at home and whatnot, but I mean, you know, we're not strangers. I would say we're more than acquaintances. I would say we're friends. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, navigating friendships very, very tricky. Being me, yeah. It's part of my spirits have shown me a lot through shamanic traditions. I mean, you have different like degrees of, you know, people doing the shamanic things. Sometimes they are, you know, people in the tribe who are, you know, they're anti-shaman, right? And then you have people who are like, who cares? And then you have people who are like, oh, they're nice. And then you have people like, I do some of the stuff. And other people are like, yeah, I actually believe in this. I take it seriously. And then people are like, I take it seriously too, and I actually am a service provider. But I spend most of my time in town. But I go out in the woods, and I come back. And so, they are in town a lot. Then you get people who go out in the woods for periods of time, right? They do more treks, more retreats. They go hang out in the cave more. And then you have people who go out for extended periods of time. And they don't come back for years when it's right to come back. And then when the tribe approaches them, there's like this wariness. And for some people in the tribe, and this has been throughout shamanic traditions for like throughout history, I mean, so it's like a repeating thing that sometimes for certain shaman, they really got to keep their distance. They want to help, but the kind of help they have, it just, it can be too gnarly for people. I even considered, and I actually kind of pushed for this early on with my spirits, that maybe this is just too wild for people to be doing at all in my lifetime, and it's just going to freak them out, me even bringing it up. So maybe I shouldn't, or can I just write it down what I see like at the end and put in a safe deposit box, or maybe some sort of like, thing with a lawyer that when I die it gets published in a paper or something like that? I don't know. I was like, so I don't have to do this. All this going on, Wendy, I wanted to avoid this. Didn't do a very good job of that. I try to isolate myself. I mean, I got complaints about isolating myself, but I think maybe I didn't isolate myself enough. I mean, objectively speaking, looking at what is here with this mojo phenomenon and how big of a deal that is, yeah, not much. There's not a lot of humans who brought things in of that kind of magnitude, even just in that general echelon, where you can have a normal relationship with people, a normal relationship with your ego, a normal relationship with history. And that can be good, bad, or ugly. Just it won't be normal. And I've never wanted to be normal. I mean, to me, being normie is kind of like not something I'm interested in ever. But still. I'm not sure the word is, Wendy. Because, yeah, I'm cool with being eccentric. I don't mind that. Fulfilled. Yeah. That's it, I think. Even though I'm cool being like a wizard out in his cave for a lot of times, Merlin got to hang out, at the Knights of the Round Table from time to time, you know what I mean? Talk shop and whatnot. Grant, he weirded them out with his visions and so forth, but still, you got to hang out some, and you got to appreciate him for being, able to see outside their scope. I was kind of hoping I'd at least get that. But there's plenty of other examples where, yeah, you kind of just keep your distance from the tribe, and what you can get, you can get. By the way, I want to thank you, Wendy, for... you've given me a spirit that I can actually work with. Even when you're not here, I've enjoyed different dialogues we've had, and I continue dialogue with my Wendy spirit, my Wendy spirit guide, even when you're not around. So I want to thank you very much for that. And this is happening right now. This is allowing me to kind of talk myself through it. I'm kind of processing what's going on with me. So thank you, because that would not be achievable as easily if I didn't have that rapport with you, and thus the spirit that connects us both. In my world, you have your own spirits, but for me, that's kind of like part of our connection. So you also sent some text where you gave us good wishes and hope that we were okay during this ordeal, and I want to thank you for that. That meant a lot. Jolene really appreciated it. She was feeling very jaded about humanity. She really was. You know what I mean? She understands, strong disagreements, but there's just no reason to... Something she and I talk about, is the idea, like dear friends, for example, is that you can always ascend to this higher kind of relationship, and you don't want to conduct yourself in a way that actually is going to lower that. So, yeah, she was kind of bummed, and your text meant a lot to her and a lot to me. So thank you very much for that. You also mentioned, Darius was doing the things on the forums, and that he was doing a lot of damage. Actually, ironically, for once in his troll life, he was actually doing something good. It's been very helpful in its way. to see how easily the people in the community are rattled and how much fear and resentment and thirstiness they've been holding on to, and they've been keeping it at bay because of how strong my personality is and how strong my position seemed to them early on in my more audacious earlier days. But you know, we're going to be redoubling our audaciousness, so I'm excited about that. It was helpful in that way. It helped me see, you know, issues that were there that really were always going to be a problem. If people were actually having this much difficulty with their confidence, with their clarity, with their ability to conduct themselves under stress, under pushback, under a wave of groupthink happening, they needed to be able to deal with that better. And this was a clear indication that, you know, for me anyway, they were not. You know, this is not anything you believe or whatever. I'm just kind of saying where I myself fall in that is that this gave me what I needed to see. So that was helpful. But I appreciate you looking out for me. I had some people, you know, actually tell me to watch out in that regard, and that gave me some hope for humanity, that some people do actually know that when there's swaying going on and how to like keep there's some moral compass that stays consistent throughout, even though you have to, like, you know, roll the punches to some degree in life, of course, but still there's some personal virtue one must cling to. Okay, I guess that's pretty much all I have to really say. Just felt I wanted to kind of reach out and let you know what I thought about you. I have good wishes for you. I really appreciate how you've been throughout the years. Appreciate how you've been here. And, you know, understanding me getting you wrong as a bracing knee shy, and actually you are a Xeni, and actually Lady Zedra has actually always been fond of you, and really that has helped boost my relationship with her as well. So I get Lady Zedra upgrades, and as a part of that there is a Wendy spirit guide. So I consider myself a rich person. Make sure you understand that, and you've helped in that. So if you know nothing else about me and our relationship or what goes forward, just know that I consider you to have been a helpful person in my life, and I'm grateful for the time we spent. And should we bump into each other down the road in any way, that would be very nice. I would really enjoy that. I just have to, like I said, put that thing out there that I'm going to have to conduct myself as far as personal cases much differently, much more wary in the future. That's just going to be how it has to be. But that doesn't mean that I still don't enjoy friends, and I consider you a friend. So good wishes in general, and good luck on your journey wherever it takes you. Oh, just one more thing before I go. It's been on my mind, is when Darius first went on the Facebook group, he lashed out at you for no good reason. And I went the route of trying to put down some rules of civility and just send people to their separate corners. But he was out of line. And I was actually trying to be lenient in that regard because he was trying a little bit to be better, and I was seeing how far he could go with it, and that obviously was not a good sign. That was not a good first impression, as I told Jailene, but I should have told you that more, and I shouldn't have actually leaned on you to be like, let's both play fair, because that was rude in his part. So I should have called that out. But I was still clinging to the idea of, like, if we can just have a civil community and then work with things, then eventually these things will work themselves out. If I insist on we go with data that means something, and we try to strive to a high, elevated, heroic ideal, and we try to keep discourse civil. But he's pretty much a hopeless troll, and you had to suffer a bit for that, and that was unfair. So just to make sure I apologize for that before I hit the road. All right. Well, it has been good talking to you and your spirit guide. Thanks. All right. Take care.